I'm wrestling. You're not weak for me. Celebrate what I am. Celebrate what I have been. Celebrate what I represent. And celebrate the many ways I have impacted your life. I will survive this test as I have survived others. I am forever etched into the very fiber of all mankind. The world needs me. Time is on my side. History guarantees me. I am wrestling. Do not wait for me.
What's up, everybody? This is episode number 48 of the T-Row and Funky Show, coming to you live on election night, brought to you, as always, by Defense Soap. Defend what you have built. And Tommy, I'm just looking at these results. Ohio is starting to pull away for Trump.
Ohio stepping up, baby.
Ohio stepped up. It looks like Florida's going Trump. They're almost all the way done. Looks like North Carolina's going to go Trump. Frankly, Tommy, it's looking pretty darn good for Donald Trump right now.
Let's not count the chickens before they hatch, my friend.
Well,
I think I felt this way about Romney a few years back, and then it just kind of fell apart at around 10 o'clock, yeah.
Huh, interesting.
I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting.
Pretty exciting, though. Exciting.
It is exciting because, like I said, we the people can take back America from the corporations, from Wall Street. I'm kind of excited, Tommy. Kind of excited. I had to contain myself from yelling "Make America Great Again" at the voting booth this morning.
Tough one there.
Oh man, it was. I just want to say "Make America Great Again" and then just storm out.
That's great. I love it.
Well, so in addition to obviously the very interesting political contest which we'll be following during this podcast, maybe over the next 45 minutes to an hour, maybe we'll just stay with you all night till this son of a gun's over.
Why not, man? It's Ohio's carrying the flag here, so let's see.
You're gonna be up. I'm gonna be up. I mean, we might as well do it.
That's right. The only thing that stinks is I got a podcast down in my basement where there's no TV.
Oh, really? So
yeah. So you're really just crimping my style.
Well,
here,
Tommy, you should do it like me. I usually podcast from my office, but I'm actually out in my living room because we do only have one TV at my household. So I'm out in the living room. And I'm watching the TV here, so I keep it. Why don't you just go upstairs? Tell your wife, hey, this is a special edition here.
Well, then you'll hear the audio. You'll hear my dog barking. But
that's okay. I think that's part of it. Carry your laptop upstairs. Let's do this.
We'll do that. I'll do that in a little bit here.
Okay, fair enough. So in addition to the presidential race, we had the opening weekend of the college season kickoff last weekend. Did you make the NWCA All-Star?
I had to go. I went to the clinic.
Okay.
Because Rudis was a sponsor and my son.
I saw that.
Okay, but then I had to get back down for some family stuff, so I didn't get to watch the All-Star meet in person, which was disappointing.
And it did go pretty bad for both of our hometown teams. Both Missouri and Ohio State combined to go 0-4.
It was rough, man.
Brutal.
It was rough. We were getting tweeted at and all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of, and then the other thing there is you were really touting Miles Martin after his wrestle off, and he kind of had a rough night against Gabe Dean.
Yeah, ironically, I was working out at Steelwood, Ohio State's wrestling room this morning, and not wrestling, but running. And
you challenged Kyle Snyder again?
No, actually, I saw Kyle Snyder on Saturday, and
you said, he's like, you better hope I don't lace these bad boys up again.
That's right. He said, we should work out again. I forget how it came up, and I was like, listen. I said, listen, Kyle, I will drill with you whenever you want. I would much rather drill with you than go running. But if you ask me to wrestle, I will inevitably say yes, and it's a bad idea. So please never ask me to wrestle.
And did he say, okay, I'll never ask you to
He
wrestle?
said, okay. He said, no problem. I was like, okay, good, because I'm not saying no. I don't play like that, but it just will be bad for me.
Hey, and I know maybe they don't have great opponents for these athletes, and maybe because they're in the Olympics, but essentially the two biggest stars in college wrestling right now are Jaden Cox and Kyle Snyder, coming off Olympic medals, and neither one of them participated in NWCA. I think that was obviously we kind of went over how the card was fairly disappointing, but I think to me that's very disappointing that those guys didn't participate in some way, shape, or form.
Well, it's disappointing, but it is November 4th. They did wrestle in August. I mean, we're talking 70 days ago. They walked off the mat at the Olympic Games. It's not. It is disappointing, though. I mean, I will say that it would have added a lot of flair to the event. So
yeah, and so I guess in my opinion, the biggest news, and we can go through. There's a lot of interesting. We're just excited because it's wrestling season again. But in my opinion, the biggest news of weekend one was Iowa State looked terrible, and they got beat up by not only North Dakota State but South Dakota State also. And neither of these duels were very close.
Yeah, kind of surprising because KJ's been on a recruiting tear. They had a pretty good end to the year last year, and I guess going into this season, I was thinking, man, they're not only are they on the up and up, but maybe 3 or 4 years ago people wouldn't have said that, and it seems like the tide had changed, and then they had a tough weekend. So
yeah,
another thing that was pretty cool that I saw happen. I don't have the match by match results, but Kerry Colott at Campbell University taking out West Virginia and Ohio U. I'll tell you what, Ben, that is news to me. Campbell is so small on the map of wrestling.
Do you even know what town Campbell's in?
I do now because I looked it up.
I don't know what it is. What is it?
It's I shouldn't say that. No. It's a 2-word city. I think it's like Fort something.
I worked out with who's their assistant coach now? Their assistant coach is.
You didn't let me finish my thought.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. They did great. I agree.
Yeah. It's Booze Creek. Booze Creek.
Yep, that's it.
Booze Creek, North Carolina. But they're so small. The only reason I know them is because Kerry Colott coaches there, that I confused them with Campbellsville University.
Oh, which is in Kentucky.
And I asked Kerry how Campbellsville's doing this.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, on Saturday. He's like,
Thomas.
and I love Kerry Colott. I mean, he's probably one of my top 3 or 4 favorite wrestlers of all time. And he said, it's Campbell, dude. I was like, oh, God. And then the next day he takes out West Virginia and Ohio U. Just very impressive. He shared with me off the record what his expectations of the team this year are. And he's got some pretty – I mean, he and obviously he's not full of it, but what he said he thinks the team can do this year is pretty impressive. I mean, I think at least.
Yeah,
so.
and on top of that, then this came at the expense of a Missouri Tiger, but – Campbell additionally got their only win ever at the NWCA All-Star Clinic, where Nathan Kreiser beat Barlow 3-2.
Boom! Thank you, Mizzou, for that.
Shut up, Tom. So that was a good weekend for them. Obviously, that's not a good sign for Sammy Henson, who's now in his third year at West Virginia.
Third year. Yep.
So that's obviously a rough start for him. Someone that people were excited about taking over a new program. That's not looking so good for him. And was that called the Mountaineer Duels, where they were all over there? I think it was at West Virginia.
I don't even know. I just saw the press release, read some articles. Like, hot damn, Kerry Colott. That's awesome.
Yeah, for real. And your St. Paris Grant, well, I guess that's not your guy, but close to you. Isaac Jordan got the win over Daniel Lewis. I had predicted a Daniel Lewis victory. I had worked out with him in Mizzou.
I think I would have predicted that too.
Yeah, and he got the early lead, got the takedown at the end of the first period, and it was kind of looking good for him. And then Isaac ended up pulling it out. That's gonna be a tight match. And obviously, those guys are right at the top of that bracket. We got a bunch of freshmen that we're kind of curious to see how they do the rest of the year. And then Aymar is actually competing this weekend, which is something we should talk about. He's competing this weekend at the Bill Farrell, but it's not really the Bill Farrell because it's the
World Trials.
Yeah, it's the World Trials for the non-Olympic weight class.
Absolutely. Yeah, so real interesting stuff. The Myanmar match, which I haven't got to watch in its entirety, but man, I mean, losing to Gabe Dean 13-5, tough loss. I will say, Ben, that the Gabe Dean that Miles Martin wrestled on Saturday is going to be almost the same Gabe Dean that he'll wrestle March. I don't know if you can say that about Miles Martin, but sure. 8 points is 8 points. It was 5-0 going into the third, and the wheels came off. Did you watch?
No, I did not watch. I was actually on the road, so I didn't get to see it. I got to watch some highlight clips, and it didn't. Like I said, it didn't look so good for.
Gabe Dean. I mean, do you really? even though Gabe Dean right now is better than Mymar, you don't think he's 8 points better, right?
No, I guess I wouldn't say I thought he was 8 points better. Wow, Florida just went. New York Times is calling it greater than 95% chance Trump wins Florida. So I mean that's essentially a lock. Florida in the bag for Donald Trump. Those of you counting the political scores not as well as the wrestling scores. Hey, Tommy, were you? Have you been following this? To get us totally off track, I'm apologizing.
This is going to be a wild podcast night. Okay. I can already tell.
Have you been following these the U articles that Flo's writing?
No.
It's awesome. You got to check them out. So they actually did my old weight class 174.
Oh,
so what they're doing is they're comprising
got it.
the best. Man, these are really cool to read. And so yeah, Mizzou got number 4 at 174. I accounted for quite a few points, and then we've had Raymond Jordan took 3rd place, but we haven't had we've got I was thinking 3 or 4 round of 12s since Raymond placed, but we haven't been able to get another All-American. So hopefully we can pop one in there at 174 one of these days.
Did they do heavyweight yet?
They have not. They just got the 174, and unfortunately, my old rival got me again. Oklahoma State is 174U because they had Pendleton and they had Perry and they had there's one more in there that I can't think of right now.
Perry won at 174. Oh, I was thinking of
Perry titles. And then Ohio State did get 141 with Jeff Jaggers, Logan Stieber, Hunter Stieber, and they had one more guy in there that was pretty good. I can't recall who it is now. But they're really fun to read.
Oh, yeah, a lot of fun.
Who's going to get Minnesota's going to get heavyweight.
Minnesota's going to get heavyweight, but I would clearly, to be honest, it's clear cut, but I would say the Buckeyes are runner-ups.
You think so? Well, who else do they got besides you? Snyder.
Bergman and Snyder, and that's where
Bergman was a heavyweight for 1 year, wasn't he?
Right. So let's fast forward 2 years. I'll do a Ben Askren here.
Okay, so you had 4 All-American finishes. JD has 1 at heavyweight, and
Kyle's gonna have 3.
Well, no, and that's not. Can't include the future, Tommy.
I know.
Do you have any other All-Americans besides that?
Kirk Nail.
Nail was an All-American. And so this is the past 15 years, so we're going back to 01.
Right. Yeah, it's not bad. I guess it's not as good as I thought.
Well, that's because most of the time six or 7 All-Americans is winning. So if you got 4, Nail's 5, Bergman 6, and
Snyder's 7.
Plus, the majority of those are very high finishes.
Yeah, 4 finals appearances, 3 titles.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm gonna say Minnesota's gonna be number 1.
No, 5 finals appearances, 3 titles.
I think Mizzou has a chance at 97 because obviously Max had 2 All-American finishes there. And then Jaden's already had 3, so that's 5. And I think we had a couple other round of 12s, but I don't believe we've had another All-American finish at 197. Unless Scott Barker was in that 15-year window, which I don't think that he was.
Yes, he was.
You think so?
Yeah, if 01, yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because I think he was 97. Because remember, he went down to 84. So I think he was 97 and 02, so he would be counted. So I think Mizzou's got a possibility of doing pretty well at 197 pounds also.
Real quick, ADD.
I love ADD.
We got Trump up by 3% in Ohio with, I think over half of the votes.
Tom, you can go to this New York Times / New York Times. Are you on that .com/?
No, I'm not. I'm
well, you're on a computer, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's up by on New York Times, the live thing. He's up by 5 points, and it's a 93% chance win for Trump in Ohio. So he's smashing in Ohio.
Dude, Florida and Ohio. If he takes Virginia,
I think he's not winning in Virginia, but he is.
No, winning. He's winning.
Oh, really? He's winning in North Carolina also, which was another close one. He's winning by it says 71% chance to win in North Carolina, which is a big one. And then the other big one is Michigan.
He's winning.
Is he winning in Michigan?
So he's winning.
Hold on. No, this one says he's losing in Michigan. But no, I'm sorry. Okay, it's swapping now. It only has 17% in, so it's right at about 50-50. It says. If you throw in Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina, That's some pretty big states right there.
Florida, Ohio, Michigan, North Carolina, Virginia. Pretty wild.
Are you sure he's winning Virginia? I'm going to check this out here.
Yeah, he's winning Virginia, dude. I'm on NewYorkTimes.com.
Really? Because last time I looked, he was
Yeah, he's up by 60,000 votes. 87% are in.
Mine says he's losing right now. What the F?
I'm
In
on
Virginia.
NewYorkTimes.com.
/elections.
No, just the front of NewYorkTimes.com.
Interesting. Mine says he's losing right now. But anyways, back to the wrestling talk. Okay, so 125. Iowa was bitter that they weren't number one. Did you hear this? It was all over the message board. Said
No, it
Flo
wasn't.
was rigging the vote. Rigging the vote like Hillary's trying to rig the vote. They said
So
they said they
who
weren't
got
using
125? Who got 125?
Cornell. Surprising.
So you got Travis Lee.
Well, yeah, no. Oh, he was 25 for a couple of years. You had Travis Lee, Nickerson, Nishan, Pirelli. So there was quite a few.
Who's Iowa got?
Iowa in that. Hold on one sec. In that 15-year period, well, Iowa's obviously got Tomasello. They got McDonough. They got Ramos was there for a year. I believe Corey Clark was there for a year. Correct?
Yep, he was.
Okay, who else? I'm clicking over there now. Yeah, these are really fun. You guys can check these out on flow.com if you want. Let's see. I'll tell you who Iowa has right now. Iowa's main guys were McDonough. Oh, my gosh. It's a lot of scrolling. They really went in depth with this. So Cornell's key scorers are who we talked about. And then the one we forgot for Iowa was Charlie Falk. Remember him?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Good
way
old
back.
Charlie.
And then 133 pounds. Who did that go to? I'm trying to scroll through these real quick here. Flo's got some advertisements. You know what I realized? Can you hear those advertisements going?
No, I can't.
Okay, so I always thought that when I was on the podcast, if an advertisement popped up like on Flow here, that you could hear it.
Oh, yeah, so did I.
But you can't. Crazy,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Gets really loud in my headphones. Okay, 133 pounds. We got Oklahoma State, number 1, Minnesota 2. Oklahoma State, Johnny Thompson, Coleman Scott, and Jordan Oliver. That's a pretty good threesome right there. Minnesota has Ryan Lewis, Mac Ryder, Jason Ness, and Chris Dardain. So, and then Iowa's got Cliff Moore, Dan Dennis, Tony Ramos, and Cody Clark. So that's some pretty good groupings right there.
No doubt. Man, I'm having a hard time talking about wrestling while this election stuff is brewing.
I know, it's exciting, right?
Absolutely. Trump's ahead on the popular vote, 22.5 million to 21.2 million.
He's up by quite a bit.
Is this going to happen?
Tommy, if Trump just was if he was just a little more likable, I think he would have freaking blew him away.
I think almost anybody would have beat Trump, and I think almost anybody would have beat Hillary. How about that? How about that?
With as much stuff that came about Hillary, it's not like it's very hard to beat her. I mean, she broke like 27 laws, and you're still like in a dogfight with her. Come on, bro. Okay, what else? What else we can hit? Daktronics, the Valencia came out with he came out with a bang. He looked really good.
He did. Not surprised though. I mean, there's nothing that happened that I didn't think was going to happen. What about you?
I actually had a friend who texted me. He said Valencia's going to win the NCAAs and he's going to be America's next Olympic gold medalist. And I thought that was interesting because obviously people highly regard him. But
I don't think it's possible to really predict an Olympic gold medalist.
Come on, let someone make a prediction here. It wasn't me.
It's just like you really can't predict an Olympic champion until about a year to a year and a half before he does it. Like,
well, I mean, even Cejudo, you wouldn't have predicted that a freaking week before he did it, but it happened.
Right, but 5 years out, it's like, I mean, really? It's like predicting.
No, for 3.5.
It's like predicting.
3
It's like predicting someone's going to win the presidency 3 years out. It's like
okay. So, but I thought that was a pretty interesting prediction because there's a lot of other people you could say.
No doubt.
Yeah, and that was kind of an interesting thought from. And man, he is doing good. And 174 is obviously not as deep as say 184 or some of the other weight classes that there are. So yeah, I guess I wouldn't be shocked in the least bit, and it is hard to say for a freshman, but to see him win an NCAA title.
No, I wouldn't either. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest, especially with Miles Martin going up, who Valencia I know is 4-5-0, but he's still tough hombre, and Nickel going up, who Valencia beat in the offseason, but it seems like 74 is a little bit cleared out, but you got the Bo Jordan factor in there, which is a big deal. Who else do we got down at that weight?
Hold on a second, Tommy.
We're gonna do some ADD.
Oh, I can't figure out where my freaking. I'm trying to figure out where the hell. Wow, I can't figure out where this damn volume's coming from. Oh, I found it. I'm looking through the.
I didn't hear any of it.
Okay, well, I'm looking through the flow stuff for this weekend, and these ads keep playing, and I'm like trying to find where the freak these ads are playing at, and I couldn't find it. It was really annoying. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I forget.
I'm being a terrible broadcast partner tonight.
Oh gosh, where was I?
I don't know. Let's talk about Bill Farrell. I want you to pick your winner. So let me give you the list right now. You ready for it?
Yep.
All right. And I was kind of interested that Tony Ramos is not entered in this weight class. Kind of threw me off because he was a world team member, obviously at 57 kg, and he didn't make it. So he would be eligible to enter 61 kg. Here's your list. And pretty much all of them are really tough guys. Brewer, Dardanes, Garrett, Graf, Hotstrasser, Kindig, which that's surprising to me because he dropped all the way down from 149 as college weight. Joe Lazor, Nick Lee, obviously that's really interesting because he's a high school kid still training. Now he's training in Pennsylvania, but high school kid from Indiana. Darius,
it's interesting, but it's not. It's not.
He's tough. We'll see how he does. Darius Little. Jason Ness, I thought another one interesting because Ness has wrestled up higher. I don't believe he's ever wrestled this weight class before. Shelton Mack, Alex Radsky, Logan Stieber, and Alan Waters.
So I'm going Stiebler. I thought, I'm going with Stieber. I don't think it's a homer type deal. I'm going with Logan Stieber. I think I probably would go with him even if I wasn't a Buckeye.
No, that's a solid pick.
He's got to have a good weight cut, and I think that
how is his weight? Have you been around the room at all?
I didn't ask him how his weight was, but I saw him at Bergman's wedding, and he definitely looked leaner than he's looked in a long time.
I mean,
he looked good. He didn't look. He just looked
sure. Good. I always felt like he was small for 143. When I looked at him,
completely agree.
Yeah,
and the unfortunate thing is that he's going to be small again in the Olympic year in 3 or 4 years unless they change up the weights.
We can hope they change it.
Right.
So I honestly, I would.
What about you, man?
I would lean there also. Alan Waters, Missouri guy's been coming up strong. He had that really good performance over in I don't know, somewhere close to Russia.
You gonna call him Stiebler or Stieber?
Listen. I'm very interested to see Jason Ness down at this weight because he's kind of a wild card, and if you watched him at the trials, he was up 9-0 on Pico. And Pico was the guy who almost made the team, So he's dangerous. Right. He can score points. He obviously also gives up a lot of points, and he does a lot of wild stuff, which, I don't know, maybe he started drinking some of his brother's Kool-Aid or something because, in my opinion, watching these guys grow up, Jason was always significantly more conservative than his brother Dylan was. And the last handful of times I've watched Jason compete, he's pretty much just thrown caution to the wind and went after it. So I think he's interesting to me, and then obviously Brewer after that whooping he put on Ramos, he's interesting to me because Ramos has competed really well against almost everybody in this weight class, right?
Right.
And none of these guys, Stieber included, have beat Tony Ramos up like Cody Brewer did. None of them.
Yeah, I see Cody Brewer being a bracket buster. I wouldn't. Bracket buster is kind of a slight on him, but I don't see him getting through the whole tournament on top. But I could see him, obviously snagging some good wins up to and including Logan Stieber. I think that they wrestled last time they wrestled 5 or 6 years ago at the Junior World Team Trials. Cody Brewer got the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, so that's he's an interesting one. But I honestly matchups matter, and I kind of think it depends on how that bracket shakes out.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go to 70 kilo. And when I'm looking through these brackets, it really shocks me that they go 70, 74. That's only 4 kilos, and then 86. Why don't they throw in an 80 there?
Right.
They really should. It was interesting to me that Dieringer didn't attempt to make the cut down. I know.
Really?
I know
So
he's big.
you must-
I know
you
he's
must
big,
know
but
more than I about him then.
well, I mean, all I'm thinking is, I know my college weight versus my Olympic weight. A 1 hour weigh-in versus a day before, that allows for a significant amount of possibilities. And Dieringer was making 65 on a very, very regular basis. And for him to, I don't know. I guess, for me, maybe he sees his future at 74 and he's going to beat Burroughs and that's his path. But, if there was any time to try 70 kilos, it's not like right now, it's not like if he tried to make 70 kilos, he'd miss out on the 74 kg spot because the 74 kg spot's not being contested, right? Only the 70 is being contested.
Yeah, I guess I am surprised.
So I kind of figured, hey, he might make it cut, and maybe he looks like shit, and he decides, hey, I can't make one set. I can't make that weight class. That's just not for me. But, yeah, that 1 hour weigh-in. I mean, a guy like Nishan Garrett, he was at 125. He went up because the 1 hour weigh-in was too hard for him to make it 125. And then he wrestles at 133, but then when you're back on 1 hour weigh-in, he goes back down. So, interesting, right? All right, let's get into this 70 kg because this is an interesting bracket to me. So you got Dylan Alton, which I didn't even know he was still competing. I'm sorry. Okay, before that, we got James Green has the bye into the finals because he was a world medalist at this weight class in 2015. So
I did not know that.
Yep. So he has a bye to the finals. So it's essentially the rest of these guys duking it out for a shot at him. Which, when you look at how freaking tough this bracket is, that's a big deal. That these guys are gonna have to go through, at the very least, 3 tough matches, but possibly 4 before they get to him. So you got Alton, Chamberlain, Mitch Feinsilver, Tommy Gant, Adam Hall, Hayden Hidlay, Jimmy Kennedy, Nazar Klachitsky, Kevin LaValle, Isaiah Martinez, Jordan Oliver, Chase Pammy, Kellen Russell, Marcus Scheidel, Alex Steen, and Robert Zitko. See what I'm saying? That's pretty.
Can you go through that again?
Yeah. Okay. I'll go through your key players here, Tommy. Russell, obviously, he's been very good, but we've never seen him at this weight before, and I think he's going to be too small. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if I want to count him out, but I think he's at a disadvantage here. Chase Pammy has done well at this weight class before. Jordan Oliver's never competed previously in this weight class, but if you want to count him out, I think you're a dummy. So I would say,
of course, I'm with you.
Imar, and this is one where he said, hey, I'm too big for 157. I'm going to 65 for the college season, but on a 1 hour weigh-in, I can make it.
Right.
So Kevin LaValle's been really good at this weight. Nazar Klachitsky, remember he was up either 6-0 or 8-0 on James Green at the 2015 trials.
Stud.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's from here now. He's from here in Wisconsin. Well, he's from Ukraine, obviously, but he's lived here in Wisconsin the last 10 years. Got to know him. He's an awesome dude, and really he has a unique style. He didn't come over till he was, I believe, 15 or 16, so he's got a very unique style. Jimmy Kennedy, another one who, like Kellen Russell, kind of small for this weight class. Adam Hall has competed very well here, and really I think those are your contenders.
Jordan Oliver.
You got Oliver? So you're getting Oliver through the mini tournament.
No. I'm not picking Oliver. I thought you didn't mention him already. Did you already mention him?
I believe it. Yeah, I said him.
Okay.
I can't count him out.
So I think Oliver or Imar come out. And I think
Do they have
James Green.
seating on this?
I don't know.
They don't have it seated on Flow. I wonder what the seating will be.
And I think James Green goes to the Worlds.
Okay. Even though he looked terrible at 65 kilos, so he's going to make his return here at 70.
Yeah, I think he'll be right back in there. I could see. I think that Oliver, with his size against Green, would have a hard time. But I could see Imar, if he gets out, beating James Green.
Well, he beat him twice.
Folk style,
when he was a freshman, but he shut him down. He didn't get taken down.
Close. It was close. So yeah.
But he didn't get taken down. I don't believe in either match. So he kind of shut him down.
Yep. Could be interesting.
Yeah. And, I think Adam Hall's a player here. But, how are they going to seed Imar? Because Imar hasn't competed at all.
You really can't seed him. I mean...
Well, so where do you put him?
Throw him in there.
Ooh, that's brutal. Like, what if it's Alex? So, okay, so who's going to... So if you count him out, who's getting the number 1 seed, and obviously Green's out. Oliver probably.
I think I'd give it to
Or
Oliver.
are they going back to? Are they going to go back to 2015 World Trials results?
Who the heck knows, man? That'll be an interesting seed meeting.
Very interesting.
Probably more about who you know than anything, huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
little rig in the system, drain the swamp.
Dude, I can't wait to drain the freaking swamp.
By the way, Donald Trump's up by 10% in Ohio.
In Ohio, 10%. No one predicted that.
Yeah, he's up.
He's up in Michigan right now too.
53 points to 43 points, 1.8 million to 1.4 million. 50%.
Wow. So he's
of the votes
slaughtering
are.
her.
Dude, this might happen. I would have never predicted this.
Yeah, it says he's greater than 95% chance Trump wins Ohio right now in New York Times.
So it's New York Times / what?
/ elections, and then you should be able to click by state. You can click
Holy
by
smoke.
state. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like it's a live thing. It's kind of weird because it jumps around.
So where's the percentage chance thing though? I don't see that.
Okay, hold on. Maybe okay. Go to live forecast results. Wow, they got win presidency. Trump is at a 59% to win the presidency right now. Wow.
That was wild, man.
This is wild. Okay, so you can see the full forecast, and then I'll take you to a different page, and then you can jump state by state.
This is wild. Would have never thought this.
Never.
I don't even know what to think.
Boom shakalaka, we're draining the swamp. Tommy, it's about time that people took back the country from Wall Street and the major.
Let's look up Trump's first 100 days. That's the one thing about Trump.
Google censored it, Tommy.
His first 100 days?
You know Google's in bed. You can read that on WikiLeaks if you guys think I'm insane right now. But I tried looking up Trump's first 100 days. You know, after he put that paper out or the whatever it was, the speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the first 2 pages of Google, all I could get was negative editorials on it. How funny
So
is
Trump's
that?
first 100 days. Appoint judges who uphold the Constitution. Hillary Clinton's radical judges will virtually abolish the Second Amendment. Change immigration rules to give unemployed Americans an opportunity to fill good-paying jobs. Stand up to countries that cheat on trade, of which there are many. Cancel rules and regs that send jobs overseas.
That's also
Lift
great.
restrictions on energy production. Repeal and replace job-killing Obamacare. It is a disaster. Pass massive tax reform to create millions of new jobs.
I like that.
Impose tough new ethics rules to restore dignity to the office of the Secretary of State, which is essentially drain the swamp.
I like the part. Where's the part about lobbyists can't be, or Congress and Senate can't be lobbyists? Is that part in there?
It's not on this 100-day plan. So be wild, man. Be wild.
This is interesting. Changing of the guard. I mean, there really hasn't been in my opinion, like I said, I've never voted Republican before, and frankly, I don't really consider Donald Trump a Republican. And when the Bushes are voting against you, I don't know that the Republicans consider Donald Trump a Republican. Donald Trump's anti-establishment all the way.
Oh yeah.
So that's that's kind of how I see it. So we're fighting the people, fighting for the people.
What else we got in the wrestling world?
Well, I'm actually now that I read this Bill Farrell, I'm like, holy shit, there's gonna be some good matches in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
This weight class is fantastic, and now obviously some of these other weight classes aren't nearly as tough because, well, you're not competing for a world team spot. But those 2 weight classes itself, that's the price of admission. Flow's probably streaming it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would hope
I'm
so.
hoping they would. So one thing I did see in here that Hunter Stieber is competing, which I know. Evan Henderson, that's who I was trying to think of. I worked out with him when I was at NC State, and he's helping Kerry Collette at Campbell.
Gotcha.
Okay, let me get you on this. How about Big Lou getting it done? You see, he's got 6 top 100 recruits.
Yeah, he's recruiting his ASS off.
I know. Wow. I mean, that's impressive, right? First year.
Oh, yeah.
He's only been there. When did he get there? August?
Yeah, he got there. No, I think September. I think early September is when he accepted the job. Yeah, getting it done, picking up where he needs to pick up. He dipped into Ohio. He got Dominic Demas and Kyle Lawson.
Yep.
I think there might be another Ohio kid that he got. Not as big of a name.
I don't think so.
And then the other thing is that Lou's a Matt Rat. I'm
Yeah.
really interested to see how his current team performs this weekend in New York.
Oh, he doesn't have a good current team. They might have a rough go at it.
Yeah,
Kevin, whoa. What about this news? Hold on. Hold the phone, Tommy. Top heavyweight in the country, Kevin Vo. You know who that is? He's from Ohio. I believe he's from Elyria.
Yep.
Kevin Vo committed to Boise State? Is he Mormon?
It's interesting.
Is he a Mormon? What's his deal?
I don't know. Or it's interesting.
I mean, you know what? He's like a big guy that actually is not playing football, and you would think that all these big-time programs would be just fighting over him, like a dog fight, you know?
Interesting for him to go to Boise, Idaho.
Wow, that's kind of shocking. And this isn't Boise that was the powerhouse that they were, 10 years ago. This is Boise State that's been struggling recently. So I guess good pickup for them. Hopefully it'll help them out. But to me, that's pretty shocking.
No doubt. Pretty surprised to hear that.
Hey, so Hunter Stieber, I guess
He's at Oklahoma.
Is he healthy again now or what?
I think he's healthy, but not trained up, meaning that I think, he's not in the swing of things from a training perspective, but I think his body's healthy.
Okay.
I don't know how committed he is yet.
Okay.
And he's at Oklahoma. So he's going to be under the watchful eye of Lou Roselli, who knows how to train guys at international, but he's also going to spread himself a little thin by coaching. So it could be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how he does. Obviously, you got to kind of feel for him. His college career was, it was very difficult. And, to not see him be able to actually just to go out and perform the way he would like to perform. That's difficult. Sorry, head burp there. Hey, so I got elected to the Wisconsin Wrestling Hall of Fame last week, and that was pretty cool.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
I saw that on Twitter. I'm surprised. I'm sorry I didn't text you over the weekend, but yeah, how was that? Was that fun?
It was good. I got to I brought down the house. The Wisconsin people, they used to have heat with me because I was just, I was.
Well, you meant business back then.
Yeah, exactly. I was who I was, and so my opening line was, it's kind of surreal, almost awkward to be up here because only 15 years ago, at least half this crowd would have been booing me, and everyone
loved it.
They loved it. They thought that was hilarious, which it was true, and hilarious.
But here's why it's funny now, and maybe if you had made other decisions, it probably wouldn't have been as funny.
Yeah.
But you moved back, okay, as an Olympian, NCAA champion, Hodge Trophy winner, 4-time finalist, yada yada yada. We know the drill here, and you invest in the community, invest in yourself, and start a wrestling academy to grow wrestling in the state you came from. That probably endeared you a little bit to anybody that might have had beef with you when you left.
Yeah, I've matured a little bit, not all the way, but definitely a little bit. It was a lot of
not
fun
bringing
games.
briefcases to.
You know what? Someone said that was like my favorite high school memory. An old ref told me that this weekend, and I'm like, that's in my basement. Why didn't I bring that to the Hall of Fame dinner?
You should have.
Like, how did I not think of that? Wow, I blew it.
I learned that story from you on like one of our first episodes on the podcast. It's like, that's an amazing story.
The other one was I would say honestly of my college career, Tommy, high school and college career, I have one loss where I had no business losing to the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Consistent performance that's how I usually operate. And there was this one school called Freedom. They actually won a team state title a year and a half back, and I'm pretty good friends with all their coaches now. But my junior year of high school, I was in the finals against one of their guys, and it was a kid. He's like state placer and that kind of stuff.
Right.
No, at that point in my career, no business losing this kid, and I lost this kid, and those son of a bitches lit me up. I mean, that crowd was deafening. My mom cried about it and shit. Wow. That was like a funny memory now. And I even razzed them in my speech. I said, I said, at least I expected that table from Freedom back there to boo me.
Trump's at 58% likely to win the presidency currently.
I know this is pretty amazing. So Ohio's done. So what's our next battleground state?
It's pretty
Michigan?
much done. Virginia is 14,000 votes separate them.
So that's too close to call.
Yeah,
It looks like
North Carolina looks like Trump is starting to pull ahead a little bit. He's up 3%, but there's only 62% of the votes in. Florida is
he's pulling ahead. Yeah, he's 78% in North Carolina.
So Florida's close, but you got 94% of the votes in. So Trump's up by 1%.
Yeah, so that's over. They already have 9 million votes in.
Yeah, he's up by 120,000 votes, and they only have 6% left. 6% left. I don't think Hillary can upend that.
No,
but Ohio's a done deal.
And it looks like it's looking like North Carolina's a done deal. They have 81% of the vote in.
Yeah. Oh, I have 62% on North Carolina. Man, we got different computers here.
It changes, so like it'll update the percentage you go, So I think maybe you got to hit refresh or something.
I just did, and it still says 62 for North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, maybe they love me more here.
What else do we got on the wrestling side, Ben?
What else do we got? Well, I mean, we could talk some business here, Tommy. I was thinking, Rudis is sponsoring our AWA Winter Classic that's coming up here in January, and I was thinking of giving away finals singlets, right, to the finalists for the elite division. And then I was thinking, should I give away singlets, Tommy, or should I do shorts and a compression top and make them wear that?
Shorts and compression top.
You think so?
100%.
You think the kids would be pissed about it? Someone told me so our preseason state
anybody that's mad about free stuff needs slapped in the mouth. All right.
But
don't you agree with me?
Yeah, someone said for preseason state, which that one just happened for us. We got over it. It was real fun, and we're gonna expand past. We're gonna make it not preseason state next year. We're gonna invite more states and stuff. But they're saying that I should do a mandatory shorts and compression top. Right? You can't wear a singlet there, and just to kind of try to make a statement because no one really does that. And I was thinking that, well, that's kind of expensive because some people might not have that. But I was thinking maybe I could get a sponsor to pick up the tab on all the compression tops from Rudis. And obviously everyone's got shorts. So we don't got to supply shorts because if you don't got shorts, I don't want to deal with you. Everybody's got shorts.
Right.
So that would be interesting to make it a mandatory thing because Wisconsin, Wisconsin put in the I don't know, what do you call it, the amendment or the request to change to shorts and a compression top. And they kind of got told to hold on for a year. And the national body wants to make regulations on, how long the shorts should be and blah, 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 all that other stuff. So I thought that was interesting because Wisconsin is one of the states that is really pushing hard for the shorts and compression top to come into play.
I don't think it's a matter of if, but when we have kind of a fundamental shift to an alternate uniform. I feel like there's some groundswell right now in American wrestling that's probably not going to go away. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the same way. I think most of the important players in the business kind of see it that way, and I think it's. I think it's great for the sport. Obviously, I've been on that train for a long time now, so I think it's great for the sport. But yeah, I think it's just taken a few years, and you want the right. I don't know what you call it, regulations, but you want a standard uniform that everyone's got to wear. You don't want someone coming with super baggy shorts or whatever.
Right.
And you know what the stupidest argument the old timers have? Oh, you're gonna get your finger caught in shorts.
Oh, God.
Tommy, I've been wrestling for freaking.
We train every day.
26 years. I've been wrestling 26 years. Almost every day I've wrestled with shorts, and I haven't. And obviously my partner has shorts also. And not one time.
My thumbs are good and mangled.
But not from someone's shorts.
From shirts, not shorts.
Really?
Yeah, they get stuck in there. But who cares, Ben? We're talking about a proper introduction to the sport where you don't have to go out half naked in front of thousands of people.
Here we go. Montana's for Trump. That's done deal. They're calling it 10 o'clock. We're at the 10 o'clock Eastern time hour. Let's see what else they call. Okay, come on, hurry up, Fox already. Utah. That's got to go Trump, right? I can't read them, but I think they're saying it's too close to call. Okay, what else you got?
Looks like Hillary is slightly ahead.
Wow, chance of presidency on New York Times just went up 64% for Trump.
This is unbelievable.
What?
This is unbelievable.
It's going to be a blowout. That's what it's looking like, Tommy.
It's unbelievable, man. It really is amazing if this happens. Did you see that the Republicans are just dominating the House right now?
Well, 97% of votes are in for Florida. That's over.
Yeah, Virginia, it looks like Hillary's bumping ahead by a very narrow margin.
You know, we got to throw her a bone, keep keep the people in this. Yeah, Florida's done. How many? Florida's like 30 electorals. I mean, that's a big one. And Michigan's a big one. North Carolina's a big one. And Ohio's a big one. And those are all done. I mean, that's what.
Not done. Oh,
Michigan.
Not enough reported.
Listen, I got a call from Mike Krause, or a text from Mike Krause, and he says he went into that building in Michigan this morning, got him fired up, and Michigan's a done deal. That's what he told me. You ever been in the room with Mike Krause?
Never have.
Listen, he gets you fired up real quick. I've been in the room with a lot of really great wrestling coaches, and I fancy myself able to relate to children well. But I have never seen someone get so much interaction with kids of any age, we're talking high school all the way down to peewees. I've never seen a coach get so much interaction out of athletes. It's awesome to watch. It's so fun.
That's quite an endorsement coming from you, Ben.
Well, and I wouldn't say if it wasn't true. Honestly, when you look at Coach Smith, Brian Smith was here a couple
episodes ago.
No, yeah, but no, he was in Wisconsin for he did a camp with our kids, and man, you forget how much you appreciate the older coaches. Just they do such a better job of interacting, of running the sessions, and you get these young college kids who are here, just they're the hot names. That's who the kids want to see. But they just don't have as much experience at running practices, running camps. So they're just not that great at it.
Right.
And obviously we've had the biggest of the big. We've had Dake, Taylor, Stieber, Delgado, you name it. We've had them here. And some of the young guys just kind of struggle teaching, because they haven't had that practice. So yeah, Brian Smith was awesome, but Mike Krause, man, he gets them fired up. It's pretty impressive.
Incredible.
And he got Michigan fired up. He said Michigan, and he said drain that freaking swamp.
The swamp is, I'm nervous about a Trump presidency. I got to be honest with you, but the swampish will drain it.
Oh my gosh, New York Times up to 66% likely for Trump to win.
This dude's going to drain the swamp. I do believe that, and it just implementation after that will be interesting. But
it'll be interesting. I'm excited for the lower taxes, Tommy. I mean, I'm over here being self-employed, and so you get they added on like 14% or whatever for self-employment.
Oh,
taxes.
you get smacked, dude. You get
it's
smacked
a son of a
around.
bitch. When I gotta write those checks, they don't come. Tommy, mine doesn't come out of my bill. Like most people get a check and their taxes are already out of it. Like
you got to hoard.
Yeah,
I know.
I physically have to write the check to the federal government, and it is like seeing that money go out of my account is like. Every single time, you have to do it, and it's still so painful. All right, New York Times up to 68%, Tommy.
Unbelievable. It's going down, dude.
Hey, you know what else people were excited about besides this? People were excited about our idea to wrestle at Midlands with our team.
Well, I've worked out 7 of the last 10 days.
You're getting in shape?
I'm not getting. I'm getting used to sweating again. I've lost 6 pounds. I'm eating fairly healthy, and maybe talk to me after Christmas, Ben, and maybe we can. Maybe I'll say let's do it.
We still got 14 months here, Tommy. So we got some time to work.
I know, but Ben, I'm gonna need a lot of time, brother. A lot of time.
Well, we're doing shorts and compression tops, and the Midlands can freaking deal with it.
Rudis shorts and compression top. Little EWA logo on the bottom. Left leg.
Well, what's our name going to be though? Something Mercenaries.
I think just the T-Row and Funky shows.
T-Row and Funky Show Mercenaries.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I love it. You want to keep watching these results come in, or you just want to call it a night?
Let's call it a night and celebrate tomorrow a Trump victory.
I tell you, Tommy, I was kind of nervous about the voter fraud thing. I thought George Soros owning all those machines kind of made me nervous. So I was definitely nervous on that angle. So it's it's good to see this happening.
Absolutely, brother.
Martin just told me if Wisconsin loses, he's going to blame me solely.
Well, you could have done more.
Wow, Trump's up by 7 points in Wisconsin.
I know, I saw that.
Wow, that's awesome.
What county are you in, Ben?
I am in Milwaukee County.
Milwaukee County. Where's that at?
That's
hold on. I'm looking. I'm looking. Milwaukee. Oh, dude, Milwaukee County. Hillary's got 66%.
Yeah.
Donald's got 28.
Yeah.
The rest of the state is red. Milwaukee County's getting crushed. Come on, man.
It's all good, dude.
All right. Well, let's peace out of here.
All right, Tommy. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Too bad we can't have an election every Tuesday. I am ready for this to be done with, though. I hope you feel the same way.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I think the whole nation's going to take a deep breath and say, oh, thank God that's over with.
And then we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to take a deep breath no matter who got named the president.
Drain that freaking swamp.
It's going to be interesting no matter who got elected, so it'll be interesting.
Nice. All right, Tom, you have a great night, man.
You too.
See ya.
See ya.
You are listening to the T. Rowe and Funky Show, and it is brought to you by Defense Soap. Defend what you've built. Tommy, I got to say, I tried these products. He shipped me a box. I love them. I've had, if you know me, I've had ringworm issues for a long time. So I'm looking forward to putting these in my repertoire and hoping the ringworm does not come back ever.
No doubt, Ben. And to top that off, the company was created by wrestlers. Guy Seiko wrestled at Cleveland State University. His son was an All-American in Virginia, so these people really get it. They know what the wrestling community needs.